Ruckus and the Records proudly brings to you the Dogwater Radio Show, starring Dogbite Harris. Also featuring Jody Mattern as the lovable but perverse Blackwater Derm.
Sensuous,
Animalistic,
carnal,
unchaste,
hedonic,
sharpened,
lustful,
bodily,
steamy.
animalistic.
West Coast Radio. Visit us at westcoastradiopodcast.com.
Alrighty, folks, with me on the Zoom, I got Kody Skye, formerly known as Kody O, of the Calamity Cubes and of Kody Skye's. What's up, buddy? And forgive me, man, I forgot the name of your skateboard project. That was probably a big thing that I should mention of your repertoire of great things you've done.
Yeah, it's another one of the hats I've worn, you know. I was doing a project called Go Future for a while, and it's still kind of on the back burner now, but, you know, I guess that, you know, good segue into where I'm at right now. I'm relocated to beautiful Portland, Oregon, after 15 years of saying I'd never live in Portland, Oregon again. Here I am. And I'm doing some concrete work. I call that the, you know, construction time, or, you know, the musician's retirement, I would suppose that would be. Is
I think Jake Orvis is doing the same thing right now.
yeah, it's a common theme. Hey man, these hands ain't playing music. Might as well pick up a fucking hammer. Is this a? Did I just drop a bomb on?
You can say whatever you
right.
want.
Okay, well, I'll limit it to the things that we talk about.
Okay. Oh, please don't. You can say whatever you want, man. But yeah. So, all right, that's cool. So what were you doing with the skateboard project? I know you're doing something really cool, helping rebuild skate parks and.
Well, it all it kind of all started in a few years ago. A friend of a friend was reaching out in Portland and was saying that they needed some help over in Ethiopia, and I've always kind of been like, you know, helped here and there on the DIY scene, you know, like built a few ramps, you know, helped, you know, do some framing and such and pouring here and there on some DIY spots. But so I was like, well, dude, like Africa sounds pretty fucking cool. I'm gonna go check this out. So I was partying with some friends in Mexico, like my homies from Costa Rica, and they were doing a tattoo convention down there. They were partying down there. And I flew back from that, partying my ass off, of course, in Mexico. And flew back, landed, gathered all my shit for Ethiopia, and flew out like 8 hours later, still hammered. Kept flying, landed in Frankfurt, and I was like, oh, okay, Frankfurt, Germany. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here, about 11 o'clock bar time back home. Time for a beer. Have a few beers, pass out, drink a bunch more beers on the plane, wake up in Saudi Arabia, where it's illegal to be drunk.
Oh, shit.
And they wake me up by saying, no, if you have pornography, leave it on the plane. If you have alcohol, leave it on the plane and get off the plane. And I blatantly refused to, because that wasn't on my schedule or itinerary. A stop in Saudi Arabia.
No shit.
So ended up in Ethiopia, built a skate park there in a little village. I mean, there's a bunch more. I mean, that's a whole thing on its own. But that kind of got me going in the direction of doing more like charity work. And I had already been talking to Danielle Colby, and she does a project with this nonprofit out of the Dominican Republic called Bati Girls that makes jewelry, like, and does fair trade and gets women that are like in the trafficking, gets them out of their situations and helps them to like get them back on their feet. And I was like, that's really cool. Like, what's up with the kids, you know? And she's like, you know, kids are just there. And that kind of like started me on the idea of like, well, I could at least try to go build a park for them. And that's like my ultimate goal, is to go build like a rec center and park in the Dominican Republic. And, but she had recently moved to Puerto Rico, and, but before she did that, she was doing a bunch of relief work from the hurricanes, which got me down to Puerto Rico and doing relief work with her. And through that, I found this kid. The second time I was down there, I went down there twice. And the second time I took Joey with me. And we went down there and we found this kid in this town that had a skate park that had been flooded since the first hurricane. And this is like 8-9 months later. So we like helped we helped get that park back functioning. And since then, it's just been kind of like, you know, I'm back to doing concrete now, but I'm doing it with like a crew that's like, they're all skaters, but we all do like residential and commercial stuff. And every once in a while, there's like a backyard, like rad little backyard zone. But mostly, yeah, it's just residential and commercial. And my buddy who was in Ethiopia with me, he lives in Southern Oregon, and he started his own company. And we're talking about getting back to Ethiopia at some point. And there's a couple other countries down in Africa that have been got a couple, like Uganda and Ghana are pushing pretty hard for skate culture there. And it's just cool to see, you know, like Ethiopia was a trip for the whole thing.
I bet. That's cool.
It was like odd man out for sure, you know, like you're in a little village, like where they'd never seen tattoos or anything like that, except for in a very like traditional tribal sense. Like the Orthodox Christians have like little face tattoos, but like other than that, it's just like they never seen like nothing like this. And they were just like, what the fuck is going on? You know, like all these fucking weirdos are in our town and they're like digging this weird hole over here in this field. Like, you know, it was cool though, you know, got the little kids involved. They were there. Like we had a bunch of boards that we left for them. And, you know, they were there every step of the way. Like little kids were like more involved than like a lot of the adults. They were just like, you know, there's a handful of like volunteers, but the little kids, they were there, they were hyped. They were like down to learn, like, how do I finish concrete? How do I do this? You know, like bringing us buckets, bringing our tools, like it was rad. And I can't wait to go back and see like what kind of scene there is there now. Like,
do you get any updates ever from like people down that way?
Yeah. My buddy down in Southern Oregon, he went back there and he went down and checked it out. He helped do some repair on the first skate park, because the park that we built was the second park in Ethiopia. And the first park was built like the year previous in the capital, Addis Ababa. And, but there was like a couple repairs that needed to be made. So he went back and did that. And he went down there. And there's been a couple, like pro skaters that have had TV shows that have gone down and like filmed some stuff on Vice. And but yeah, but you know, I follow everybody on like social media, so I like see what's going on down there, and then they pop up. And so it's rad to see the progression of like everybody there and see how see what direction they're taking it, you know, because it's like going back to like I have a picture somewhere of a kid, like he has like a homemade like skateboard, and it's like they were making their own skateboards with like had a caster wheel from like an office chair tied to a fucking 2x4.
Oh man.
And then the like was like dolly wheels like with a metal rod like nailed to the back of it. And that's like
so they
I was
skate.
like, that's like, whoa, dude, this is like the beginning of skateboarding all over again. Like when kids were taking like the fronts off of their fruit cart scooters and like bombing down hills in the 50s. It's like, so it's like seeing like, I don't know, it's like rad to see like the purity in something that could be so easily jaded as skateboarding. Because like, you know, I'm a crusty old fucker, man. Like everybody that's been on the board for like, you know, been on board for like 20 plus years, we're all crusty and fucking jaded. And like, man, scene's a bag. But you know, like when you go somewhere to help like start a scene, and it's not like this whole like, oh, I'm building this part for me like later down the road, or I'm like adding this part to my you know, to my profile, or you know, to my resume. It's just like, you know, like fuck that, man. It's just like build a park for the kids that fucking need a park, that like, you know, need something besides like what they got going for them, which, you know, sometimes is a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, man.
You know? So it's not, you know, like I always try to just, you know, remember that it's always for like the people, you know, that we do it for. You know, same with like, you know, the commercial, like in the residential stuff, like nothing's radder than to see, you know, and it's the same thing as like music, you know, nothing's fucking radder than to see somebody like, wow, this is, you know, to find more than satisfaction out of it, to like, to see people, how people like their whole world changes after you do like something that they've been like planning, you know, like this couple that we've been working for is so awesome, man. Like the retired doctor, he just got back today from like skiing backcountry in Mount Hood, like hiking up all these crazy ridges and shit. And it's just like they've been planning these like plans for their house for like years, and finally have been able to do it. And like to see them, like the transformation in them is like, it's very similar to like, you know, seeing people that like can find like deeper meaning in music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
It's like those people that are like, man, that one song really like changed the way I look at the things.
I can compare it a little bit to like you know, when you're a kid and you first start getting into music, there's something weird going on. Getting like a feedback or something. But when you're a kid and you first start getting into music, you that's you're like hungry for all. But when you start playing it, you kind of, after a while, you stop kind of giving a shit about finding meaning. You know, you get it once it becomes work. It's kind of different. You know.
For sure. You know, it was like, when I'd be driving around, and still to this day, it's like I'll drive and just have the fucking radio off, man. Just be like, just appreciate the silence.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Because what is music but just like a cacophony, like an ideology, like blasted at you with a cacophony of sound behind it. It was just. I mean, I understand the deeper meanings of music and everything like that, but it's again to that whole like crusty and jaded, like I've been doing the touring musician thing for 15 fucking years, man. Like it's a long time to be out there humping at it. And, fuck, dude. After a while, you get crusty and jaded.
Yeah.
And then you turn off the radio when you drive, and that's when you start listening to podcasts, I guess.
I do listen to a lot of podcasts, man. And then, but I think I'm getting back into music too, man. I'm trying to dig deeper and find things that make me tick again. I think a lot of it with our shit is like we got into this scene that was a niche of people. And for a long time, a lot of those people offered different things, but after a while, a lot of it sounded kind of like the same to me, and I felt like for a while I wasn't offered anything new. So now I feel like I'm getting back to that place where I'm finding the beauty in it again and the art in it. But for a while, man, like the years of Ruckus and the Boonies, when I was booking that festival and shit, there was a time where I was kind of jaded about music and I didn't really give a fuck about a lot of shit, when it came to it. And that sucked because it was my most favorite thing in the world for a long time. I had to really kind of search to find my love for it again.
I feel you on that, man. Like you can't keep like doing the same. Sometimes you have to step away from the things you're truly passionate about to see if it's, if it's an ephemeral passion or if it's, true passion.
Yeah, I mean, there was literally a time for a minute where I was like, I don't know if I want to be Dog Bite Harris anymore. I was just like, I don't know if I give a shit at all, So I just like let it stew for like a couple of years. And then I had like some people, like I got a really good band together that really got me feeling positive again. And then just kind of letting go of Ruckus and the Boonies was good for me too, because it was just like, how it is, man. I mean, and you especially, because you've been deeper into it than me, where you're working your fucking ass off at something, especially music, and you're not making shit. And getting the bar scene gets so fucking old after a while, man, especially when you're getting older, and like you said, it just makes you crusty. I mean, I think that's the best way I could fucking describe it. You get real crusty about the shit, man. But yeah, I mean, I found my way back. I think I just needed to take a breather and reevaluate things and realize that at the end of the day, I'm doing this for me. I'm not. At one point in time, I wanted it to be like a career, and once I let that go and started having fun with it again, now it's probably more of a career than it's ever been for me. And I don't look at it like that really. I just take it day to day, and have fun with it again,
Yeah. That's exactly. That whole stepping away and taking time to really reflect and like actually,
I kind of made a rule. I kind of made a rule.
What's that?
Sorry. I kind of made a rule to myself too. It's like, if it's not fun and if there's pressure in it that I'm going to lose money or piss somebody off or something weird is going to happen, I'm just not going to do it. Like if there's any kind of real pressure to it or risk, I'm just not going to do it. If it's not fun for me and I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it.
We need more of that philosophy in the world, man. Like, That's the way I've always looked at life, man. Like once I get tired of something, like you'll know I'm tired of it because I just won't fucking do it no more. Like once I'm over it, I'm fucking over it, you know? And
Well,
you
you're kind
know,
of a
and
hard man to find, dude.
what's that?
You're kind of a hard man to find these days, man. Like Joey was like, you got to hit Kody up, man, because he's got a lot of great shit to say, but he's just not like as available on social media as he was or anything like that. So he like showed me, and you're like underneath this incognito Instagram page, and I had to have him send me the link, dude. So yeah, you were over it, man. And dude, you were sick, man. You missed the last show in Hepner with the Cubes when they came up because you were in the fucking hospital. So like, you of all people know what it's like to be crusty, man, and fucking not feeling it because it almost fucking killed you, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, that was on a West Coast tour, and you know, it was one of those things where I was like, it was just such a freak fucking accident. It was like back in 2015. I don't know if you'll remember, but there was like a listeria outbreak in the U.S. and it was like from like which is like this bacterial infection that's like kills like 20% of the people who get it. Like 1 in 5 people die.
Jesus.
And fucking, and it was like in Sabra hummus and like some ice cream or some shit. And I was like playing a show in Modesto, and they had like Sabra hummus or something like that. And I was like, oh yeah, vegan me, you know, eat my vegetables and fucking hummus. What's the worst thing that can happen? Yeah, look what the fuck. And then yeah, dude, like next thing you know, I'm in Grants Pass, like I'm not feeling so well. Play the show next morning, I can't like move and I can't talk, and I wake up and I'm in the like I'm like fucking puking my guts out. And fucking, they had to like carry me out of the fucking van, and I was in the hospital for like 5 days, which cost about $5 a minute. You know, good
Jeez.
job, American fucking health insurance. Like, dude, yeah, it's a racket, but you know, it about did me in. And then after that, I flew back, and then in 2015, we were doing a tour, and we were first show was Gallows, and that morning I had to have like a minor like surgical procedure, which is no big deal, should have been nothing, but I had some weird fucking reaction to the sedative that they use, and it fucking it killed me. It like flatlined me, and that was like 6 a.m. They fucking like, they were like, yo, you like dropped out, but we brought you back. I was like, what do you mean I dropped out? Like, and then that night I went and played a show, and was healing from a surgical procedure on the road for 30 days. And yeah, ended up face down in KC, falling off the stage, like face down. Yeah, good times. That's what caused me to take the break like in 2016, because I was like, you know, like I'm literally killing myself. You know, I gotta do something else. So I stepped back, did something else, and then came back to it. And like once we came back to it, it was just kind of, we were more selective about the shows we would play. Is like, you know, we had a few festivals that were like signed in that were like, okay, like if it's not a festival, it's got to be a local, like well-paying gig or something. You know, we were just kind of in the spot to just roll like that. And then we did Europe in 2018, and that was kind of like I booked a solo set there, and the promoter was like, yo, like, what's up with the Cubes? Like, can we get you guys to play here? I was like, oh, you know. And they're like, you know, we'll buy your tickets, basically. We'll buy your plane tickets. And I'm like, kind of can't refuse that offer, you know?
That's
So
90% of the battle there, man.
yeah, so it was like, worked out well, you know. Europe was a blast. It was so much of a blast that I like turned around. I booked a solo tour while I was playing the Cubes, like while we were on tour with the Cubes. I was like, nope, I'm coming back. Like flew back, right, turned around, flew back like 5 months later, flew into Spain and did a solo tour up through Germany and basically traded the same path, you know, which was the path that Joey and I were supposed to be on this last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wasn't for this damn.
Yeah, that's what Joey was saying on the interview I did with him. Actually, I forgot you guys were supposed to do a tour, and he was supposed to like showcase his art and stuff like that on the tour.
Yeah, we were. We had both coast and Europe all booked out, the entire year, all booked out. You know, and we were like days away from leaving on our West Coast tour, and then we started looking. We're like, "Yo, it looks like shit's getting kind of serious out there on the coast, like right where we're going. I don't think we should do this." And so we both we both mutually agreed that, you know, like it would be better to be
Alive than dead.
well, yeah, that,
Or sick as a dog.
That was more like, yo, if they get like, if it's like full on pandemic style and they like lock shit down, we're gonna be like stuck somewhere, fucking who knows where, you know, like, let's not do that. You know, like, the last thing I need is to be quarantined in fucking like Yuma, Arizona or some shit, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, be like another Grants Pass situation. Like, that was just sheer will and grit of just like, I ain't gonna die in Grants Pass, Oregon because of bad hummus and Modesto. I ain't gonna die from like, you know, a pandemic in fucking Bakersfield, California, dude. Like, I just refuse to do that. You know, I'm planning on going out epically mundane, like as boring as possible. So, but yeah, that was like, you know, whatever, through a hitch in everybody's life, you know. I'm not like boo-hooing, you know, a lot of, you know, all in all, you know, I think, like, with all respect to everybody that's lost people and all the, you know, flaws that this has shown with inherent within our system, all in all, you know, like, it's shown us all a lot of things, and it showed me I've pretty much been in quarantine for years, apparently. Yeah, I never knew that, like, in the new world, like, my social anxiety and agoraphobia would be like superpowers. It's like, all right, I guess I was just training for the fucking apocalypse the whole time. I just didn't realize it.
Yeah. That's kind of, I've been saying, like, I didn't know I was such a people person until I couldn't do shit anymore, you know.
Oh, I realized how much of a people person I wasn't until
You know,
forever.
all in all, I've had worse years than 2020, man. Everybody's bitching, but I really have. I've had worse years than 2020.
I'd be I would be remiss to say otherwise as well. But, you know, it's really showing us a lot of things. It's really showing us, you know, the tenacity of innovation And they say, what is that? The necessity is the mother of invention. So like we've all had to reinvent ourselves in every possible way.
Yeah.
Like even to the way we interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you're a few hours away. We could have done this like sitting in a room hanging out, but here we
I'll
are.
be in Portland on Saturday, actually.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, just gonna take a little vacation and get the fuck away from the redneck side of the shit. Probably go to the Rogue Brewery since it's open.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the one thing that's really nice. Like I relocated from this because like right when the pandemic set off, I bounced the fuck out. I went to Colorado, Southern Colorado, where it was like 50-mile round trip to the gas station, like living off grid, like solar and generators, man. Like, that was awesome. That was great. It was like I could literally like walk out like Winnie the Pooh, fucking no pants on with an AK, just blast off a bunch of rounds, like Porky, and totally fine. But Colorado's
Special state.
it's something, man. It really is something. I mean, all people that can live through that. I mean, it's just like North Texas, basically. Like, especially now, man. Woo, woo! I tell you. But yeah, it gets a little red through there.
Oh yeah. All the
Yeah.
states got some red sides to it, man. Even Oregon, the
Like people don't realize that about Oregon. Like
yeah, it's red
they
as fuck where
see,
I'm at.
yeah, that's what they see about like the entire West Coast. They see like LA, they see the Bay Area, they see like Portland and Eugene, and they see Seattle. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, the West Coast is so progressive and so liberal. It's like, motherfucker, go to Redding, California, and tell me how progressive Redding is.
Yeah.
Go, go hang out in Medford and tell me how amazingly progressive Medford is, or like
So
Ashland or
I work in mental health. Sorry to cut you off, dude. Medford is like one of the worst places on the planet for mental health, dude. My company that I work for is based out of there, but before they were, right before they were, they literally shut down like every mental health facility and just let fucking mental health people out. Like,
didn't they do that like all over Oregon though?
no,
Like pretty
dude,
much.
just like in Medford, man.
Okay, because where was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Where was that filmed? Because
That
they
was
had a similar situation,
that was filmed.
right?
I don't know. The One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was just kind of like it was filmed in Oregon, but it was more about just like how shitty the
Oh
mental
no,
health system was.
yeah, no, but it was filmed in a
Salem.
closed off section. So, yeah, of the mental health the mental health institution there, the
Yeah,
mental institution in Salem. Yeah, that's crazy though.
the guy that wrote
Like
that book um, spent some time in that place and wrote it loosely about his experience there, I think. And he
yeah,
lived,
Keith.
yeah, he's apparently he lives like an hour from me outside this town called Condon.
Okay,
He doesn't let people visit very often or talk to him, but he's out there someplace. Nobody really knows where.
wait. I yeah, I don't think I'd be very talkative.
Yeah, I probably
If,
seen him, dude. Like I probably seen him and just not known who he is.
Mhm.
But
But as part of that weird, like what I was saying earlier, how like being a musician is like forced schizophrenia. Like, I'm an antisocial motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
I don't like being outside of my little bubble of here, and like the like outside world, I can do without it. You know, like
Yeah.
I got my little pathways through town where I go here and there, and you
Well, yeah,
know.
you're in Portland too, man. That's a trip, dude. Right now, Portland's nuts, dude. I'm sure it's calmed down some. Were you around for any of the fucking the Antifa shit?
You mean the anti-fascists? Yeah.
Antifa?
Um, yeah, that whole thing.
Were you down there for
Um,
protests and stuff, man?
was I first got up here right about the time of the fires. Like, so I was like in Chico and it lit on fire, and I was like,
Oh,
I'm gonna get the
fuck.
fuck out of here. And then I got to Rogue River and I was like, oh, that shit's catching on fire. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. And I ended up getting stuck out like on the coast, like surrounded by walls of fire
Oh,
for a
man.
while. It was pretty savage. Like, what was the air quality was like smoking 20 packs of cigarettes a day. It was like, good. I'm glad I quit like 15 years ago. So now I'm like back up to where I'm at. So, but
Yeah, it was nuts, man. A lot of it blew out this way too, man, and it just got stuck here. I had friends fighting those fires, man.
yeah, it was an intense scene, you know, and yeah, and then I like boogied down here, and it was pretty intense scene here because he had all those fucking dipshit chuds out on the fucking roads, like being like BLM fires and like listening to the scanners, and it was Bureau of Land Management. Land is on fire, but they were hearing BLM on the fucking
Yeah,
scanners
yeah,
and were
yeah.
like, start fires. Like, oh,
With all the,
god damn. It's
with the
so frustrating to live in this country right now because it's like this is the worst satire movie because this is what happens when people are too dumb to get satire. When people take shit like the song Okie from Muskogee seriously, or like that song from fucking the Chumbawamba, that fucking drink a whiskey drink song. That's
yeah.
a fucking satire song. They made that song purposely annoying to make fun of the assholes that ended up embracing it as a fucking drinking culture frat song. And it was making fun of that. But that's what happens when you like people are too. Same with Okie from Muskogee. People are fucking screaming about that shit. And it's like, Okie was a derogatory term for many a years, you know, like that's what happens when people are too dumb to get satire is we end up in this country
Yeah.
where it's like, god damn it, dude, like if everything, like I think 2012 like actually did go down and we just like went into some weird parallel fucking like upside down where it's like, I mean, even like this whole year is like been so ass backwards. I mean, if already our society isn't ass backwards, like our healthcare fucking keeps us sick and makes us like and kills us. Our justice system fucking makes us criminals. Our food malnourishes us. Religion fucking is completely ass backwards. Like everything about our society is completely upside down. But then like all of a sudden 2020 hits and it's like you have anarchists saying follow the rules, everybody. You have you know, fucking everybody but fucking racists that are fucking about masks. All of a sudden the racists are like anti-mask and fucking like, oh my god, dude. And you got fucking like dickhead fucking Trump getting fucking like, he got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. It's like, what the hell kind of fucking weird ass parallel universe did we end up in? And is it because we turned on the CERN Hadron Collider? Like, is it because we fucking made Easy Mac a thing? Is it like, I don't, dude. It's just so mind-boggling. It would be hilarious if it wasn't so mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just hope somebody, like, these are the things that make me hopeful for intelligent life elsewhere, because if they're seeing this, they have got to be just perplexed. Or if there's a higher power, he's got to have some weird fucking sense of humor, man, and we might get along. Like, I don't know, but then I'd get kicked out for something, and then fucking, like, I'd get ran out of everywhere else too. So just go do my own thing in the afterlife, anyways.
Build skate parks on the moon.
I figure I'll just dissipate into the everything, just fucking dissolve into the ether. Like a good enough plan for me.
Have you been working on any new music, buddy?
You know, funny enough, I was talking to Billy Cook, and he was talking about how he's getting his recording studio set up, and or he's getting his recording fucking area or whatever, his setup going. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, we should get weird. And I had this idea a while ago, and I'd been talking to Graham Lindsay a while ago.
Ooh, that's a name.
And we always what?
Yes, that's a name I haven't heard for a while.
Oh yeah, I talk to him still, and we and mostly our conversations comprised of sending each other new like fucking weird bands that we come across. Like he started getting me into like some weird like synth pop stuff, and I started really like vibing with that, because I was like, yo, what is like the diametric opposite of everything that I've been doing for years? Like, I don't want 1/4/5 timing. I don't want like any upright bass. I don't want banjos. I don't want like any folk anything. It's like, what is the opposite of everything of that? And I was like, synth pop. I could sit in a room with a computer and just fucking make weird noises, dude. Like, Graham and I, we actually were, Graham and Tina and I, we recorded a song a few years ago together. That was like a Twin Peaks based song. And it was all like dark wave synth pop. It sounded like some 80s fucking dark wave shit. It was pretty awesome. And from that is kind of like express. I recorded an album with Brody Wellman that I've been sitting on, that I was going to be touring on this with Joey, but it's got me time to just sit back and actually like reflect on it and like actually get it properly put together with proper like artwork and cover work and layout and everything, and get like everything, hopefully when everything starts like getting back to a fucking place where we can start hopefully touring again.
Yeah,
maybe release that. Yeah, I've been sitting on that, so I've got like 7 songs in the can with Brody, and like Josue and Grubb from Carrie Nation, they were on it with me, and I had some other friends on it. Kind of just stepping outside the box of what I've been doing, and just different vibe from what the Cubes had going on. And I have a new batch that I'm going to start recording at some point soon. That's going to be more of that, like I guess going in that more direction of synth pop, kind of like just experimental, see what comes out the other side, and just see where the song takes me.
Yeah.
And
Fuck it.
yeah, it's like, like that's one thing about, like, you were talking about how it's hard after a while to find something new when you're pigeonholed into a scene, like within our scene, we were like, there was a lot of innovation, but like that shit goes in like, it's like a recording of a recording of a recording after a while,
Yep.
it just starts breaking down, like once you get into the third generation, you get like the first generation of innovation of like people breaking ground on new sounds. And then you get like the second wave of people that are like not quite influenced by that, but that are like just like a little bit behind and on similar paths and following those same paths laid before them. And then it becomes like the third wave of it is like the people that are like directly from the first wave covering like that's where you get like bands covering other bands and shit, in the scene, like when one band in the scene gains popularity and then you have like 10 bands playing their songs, so like after a while, then that's where the scene degradation starts setting in, is after that third generation. And then it becomes less of a all-inclusive, because at first it starts out as like, like this is something new, and because it was built out of necessity, we couldn't find anything that would hold our space, or that like we couldn't find anything that related to us in the other scenes, so we create our own scene. And it becomes an all-inclusive thing, because all of a sudden it's these people are like, this space, it allows me to express myself in ways that I wasn't able to in these other scenes, like the rockabilly scene or the punk scene or the, like hellbilly, hell Betty, whatever, fucking Ink 3, like whatever scene you want to fucking like pull up. It could be the fucking, swing cherry poppin' daddies fucking scene, whatever, man. Like,
Yeah. They're out of
like
Eugene, I think. Aren't they out of Eugene, Oregon?
yeah, they're an Oregon band.
Yeah, I thought so.
But like, there's all these like unlike said social mores. It's like baseball, man. There's so many unfucking written rules of baseball, and there's like so many like underlying social mores and scenes that become like guidelines. And if you can't fit into those guidelines, what do? You try to assimilate and fake it, or you fucking try to go find something else. And if you can't find anything else, what do? You make your own, so it starts out of necessity, and then it ends with like nostalgia, like
That's kind of a good way to put it, man. I really like that.
yeah. Next thing you know, it's like, like, oh, you can't wear that patch with that patch, It's like, you can't wear that fucking band t-shirt around these people. Like, once you start getting to that shit, dude, it's just like, you might as well fucking just dig a hole for it at that point,
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing I saw in our little niche was, if you're not wearing enough patches, you don't get to be part of the club, Or me, I was just like,
Yeah.
whatever. I just want people to listen to my music and enjoy it. And if not, whatever. I don't care if they're got a mohawk or if they've got a fade or if they work in an office or fucking ride rails, I don't give a shit. If my music speaks to somebody, it speaks to somebody.
Well, and that's one thing is that our scene, like we can't, like we as musicians, we can't pick who listens to our music or finds, relevance in it, like, and that's one thing that, like, especially in the last few years, is specifically shown within, especially the roots music scene, because, like, how many fucking bands that fly the fucking rebel rag and bullshit, like, like fucking that Confederate pride shit, like that shit was prevalent, 10, 15 years ago in this scene. It was everywhere. That fucking Southern pride, fucking rebel rag, every fucking where, dude. Like,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, then people start actually like learning the history of where it comes from and realize that, hey, maybe this thing isn't so cool. So, like, make a collective decision within it, like, but it's like, it's caused the divisive, especially in roots music, there has been the divide because, like, I know that there's people like in our music. I mean, there's one show we played in Texas, like the Cubes, we were playing this place in Amarillo, and these guys, like these two guys, they're like screaming, like, play a song about the Civil War or something like that. We're like, we got a song about the Civil War. And we're like, and we started singing it, and these guys are like standing on the table screaming like Quantrill, Quantrill. Like, and we're like, yo, like, this is a Kansas band, homie. Like, you're yelling like fucking, that's like yelling Hitler in Israel or some shit, or like, you know what I mean? Like, go to France and yell fucking like Goebbels, like. So there's these guys are like losing their shit about some like Confederate racist like shit. We're like, what the fuck, dude? We're like, Joey, like, start a song, dude. So he starts Kite, right?
Yeah.
And these guys are losing it, dude. Like, they're like stomping on the table, freaking out. We're like, yo, this is like, these guys must like really love peanuts or something, because like a kite eating tree, like, I mean, like, these guys are freaking out, and like they come up to me like as we're like tuning up or something. They're like, man, we really love that song that you did. That was like, and they thought that we were saying like a racist term towards Jewish people
Gotcha. Yeah.
in this song. What do you do at that point? It's like, no, dude, that we were saying, like, no, that is not what that song is about at all, but like, they walked away with a whole nother meaning behind it, and my point being, you can't choose who listens to your music. You can't choose the ideologies that are like embracing what they're embracing out of it, like, they're going to pick and choose. It's like music in its purest form is a Rorschach, man. Like, like it's an emotional Rorschach, because like you derive, and this is where when people come, and I'm sure like it's happened as a musician as to you, is like, man, like, this song, this means a lot to me because of this or whatever, this experience I had, or your music really helped me through this hard time I was going through. And the thing I always try to, stress on that is, we just make the music. You are deriving what you need to out of it. You're like, you need to acknowledge yourself in the equation of, this is me deriving this out of this music. You know what I mean? Like, that's why like the stage was so weird for me, and that's why like when we were like with the cubes, we would take it to the floor, is because it was like that separation barrier. People remove themselves from the experience. Like, we don't want like, I don't want passive observer versus active performer. You know, like, I don't want that barrier. I want experience as a whole. You know, we're all here. We're all fucking like, we're all experiencing this through our own vantage point, but this is the one way we can really like let loose of our individual selves and become something larger, in the sense of we all become the experience of that moment. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me, man. Yeah, I gotcha. Well, shit, man. We had a pretty good interview, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
What are you smoking on there?
yeah, you know, some of Oregon's finest.
Yeah.
You know, just a little of that. See, I can't smoke weed in my apartment, but they didn't say anything about vaping.
uh,
But fine, it's Portland. I gotta go. I gotta walk my dog anyways, and you know, take in the night air.
yeah.
That's how I, you know,
What do you got? What are you smoking?
fucking just whatever the homies hooked me up with. Got to help that was, so being back up here has been pretty rad, because it's been like, I grew up here. Like, I went to high school in Southwest Washington. You know, I'm pretty familiar with the scene up here. Like, I had, you know, some of my oldest friends are up here. So like, coming back here is like, I've been getting to reconnect with them and seeing where they're at in their lives. And like, one of my buddies, he just got his contractor license. So it's like, I went and helped him build a fucking deck in the backyard the other day, like for a couple days, and like, you know, just popping up, seeing where all the other homies are. It's just like, you know, like, oh, dude, like, oh shit, this house, they like, you know, oh, they had to take their ramp down. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh, but this other house, they got a new backyard set up, and you know, it's rad being able to like see the progression from outside, you know, like from not the ground floor. You know what I mean? Like, because if I was just buried in the muck and mire of it at first, it would just be like another fucking day. You know what I mean?
I got you, man.
Kind of the shit that made me leave in the first place was just looking around at all, like everybody being like, dude, like everybody's way too content with where they're at. Like, I can't hang like they like, I'm just gonna turn into a fucking pile, and I don't want to be a pile. So I'm gonna go figure out something else to do. And so I started doing music. And usually, actually, truth be told, music was just a way for me to find other places to skate.
That's funny.
I was just, I would book, I was really happy about booking tours, because I'd be like, oh, I've always wanted to go skate this spot. Let's book a tour there. And just like, yeah, usually if you really pay attention to like all the routes of the cubes and shit, like all the routes that I take solo tours, and like, or when Joey and I play together, all of our routes usually have like, you know, skateboard, a very thick skateboard vein in there. You know, like, there's always like, you know, oh, we're playing the skate shop days here. We know all the homies that skate here. And, you know, that's just a byproduct of just, you know, Joey and I growing up in the skate scene, you know, like we each have our own path through it. And we each came to it our own way. And, you know, that's one thing that really bonded him and I together was skateboarding. Like right out of the gate was just like, yo, dude, you skate too? Let's go fucking roll. And so it became like, it's been rad, man. Like he's been the person that I've skated more places in the world with than anywhere else. And once all this COVID stuff happens again and we get our tour, we get to redo our tour thing, then we're gonna build on that repertoire.
Good, man. Hopefully you guys get out to Oregon. Well, you're already out here.
Well, I'm here.
Come out with Joey.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm telling you, dude, I got bills and everything, man. I changed my ID, everything, man. I'm back to being an official Oregonian again after 15 years of saying, nope, never going to do that again.
I'm about ready to throw it to the map and just go anywhere else.
Yeah. Well,
I'm on
the very small map. With the way everybody was being like, with all the COVIDiots in this fucking country putting us so far back, dude, our map is very small.
Yeah.
You know, like our travel map got really fucking tiny.
I'm double vaccinated now. I'll walk into anything.
Nice, dude. See, I need to be fucking. I need to be hanging out at the fucking vax centers being like, yo, dude, like, you got any of that extra vax? You got an extra dose?
That's how you do it, dude. That's how you fucking do it, is you just are like, hey, you got any extra? Because how it happens, and I tell everybody this pretty much on almost every interview I've done, I've told people this. So when they open one of those packets up, they've got like 100 shots or some shit. And if they don't get rid of them in like 8 hours, they got to fucking throw them away. And
yeah, dude.
sometimes people cancel out and bail, and they'd rather give them to somebody than to fucking than to waste them. And once you get the first one, they'll schedule you for the second one because they don't want to waste your first shot. So
right,
yeah. So
maybe that's what you be doing, dude. Just go hang out at the Rose Quarter, being like, "Yo, hit me with that extra dose."
Yeah, or wherever, man.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm essential, so I got mine, but.
Good on you, man. Good on you. So, well, you know, at least, you know, you got your microchip in you now. So.
Yeah. I don't feel any dumber or any smarter or any fucking whatever. My phone.
Shit.
We've been microchipped for years. We've been microchipped for years, man.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, and how hard is it the government to give us fucking $1,400 fucking dollars, dude? Like, after they said a premise of 2,000, then they drop it down to 1,400, and it's fucking pulling teeth through that, dude. Like, you think that they're gonna put fucking millions of dollars of experimental technology in fucking in everybody to watch them go from like fucking Walmart to Chick-fil-A to fucking sit at home and watch fucking Jersey Shore? Dude, like, what the fuck, dude?
They don't
like,
care.
Nah, dude. They don't need to. Dude, Big Brother's watching. If he is, he's fucking bored as shit, dude. Like, seriously, this is the most boring reality show ever fucking created.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for other kids for having to watch us.
We definitely haven't got more interesting with time, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. See, like, telling you, Easy Mac. It's fucking Easy Mac. I'm telling you.
They found an easier way to make macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, dude. Like, fucking. It's the downfall of society. That's where it all started. Was Easy Mac.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of that. But all right. So I think we're done. I just wanted to show you this. Look at that.
Oh,
Ain't that a beaut?
that is a beaut.
I don't pat my back. I don't give myself much praise, but I can roll a damn good blunt.
The blunts are my favorite.
If I'm good for any,
They're my favorite.
if it,
So.
dude, have you tried these? The high hemps,
But
the high hemp wrap.
I was doing these things called cinder cones for a while that were kind of the same concept. They're made of hemp because I quit smoking tobacco a lot of years ago, so I don't like to smoke tobacco now because I was really addicted to it. So the hemp ones are fucking better than like I used to just gut swishers, man. But yeah,
Yeah, these ones, the high hemp ones, they got the CBD like plus. I don't know if I'm supposed to be giving endorsements or anything like that. I'm not sponsored by them. If anything, if you ever come across, hey, any high hemp CBD reps out there that want to their fucking ex-musician, fucking turned concrete guy, get at it, homie.
I'll look those up, man. They got the CBD on them, huh?
Yeah, CBD infused and all that shit.
What are they
So you
called?
get the high hemp.
High hemp. All right, I'll look into them.
They have all kinds of weird flavors too, dude. If you're into that weird shit,
Yeah.
but I like to taste my weed and not fucking banana mango or bananango or fucking
That's why I hate
making.
fucking vaping, dude. I fucking hate vaping because of that same reason.
Yeah,
I like old flower, man.
yeah,
Just like old school down and dirty flower.
right. See, it fucks me up when people call it flower, dude. Like, I was living in Northern California a few years back, and fucking, I was like at the skate park, and these kids like they were fucking passing around their dab rig and shit, dude. Like an actual dab rig at the skate park with full torch and everything, dude. I'm just like, what the fuck? And I go to like fucking, we're like smoking a joint or something like that, and they're like, we don't smoke pre-run. And I was like, pre-run? I was like, what's pre? They're like, I was like, oh. I was like, dude, in my day, we called it weed. Like,
But
yeah, dude, like,
pot
back in my day,
back in
we
my
called it weed.
it becomes a drug.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it just becomes too much like a drug when you got to do a bunch of processes with gas and shit to it. You know, it's
But
like
that's fun. That's kind of the fun part about it, though. Is like it makes me feel sketchy as fuck, dude. Like I need to be in a fucking hotel bathroom with foil on the window with a fucking blasted torch. It's like doing hard drugs without the hard drugs. It's like O'Doul's of crack or some shit, dude. Like it. I'm kind of into it.
yeah, I've never done it, man. I just can't, dude. I don't. Dude, I can do weed, but if I kind of know my limits, man. If I go too far, I have a bad time, man. So I know
Oh, dude.
I have a bad time with dabs. I just know.
Oh, it gets you. See, that's the whole thing. Is like when I first came across them, I was like, man, like I miss that fucking junior high paranoid as fuck. Like
That
high as
never
dude,
happened
like
to me until I was in my 20s, man. I never got paranoid because of my 20s.
see, but yeah, but like when you first like for me when I was like smoking weed at like 12, it was like everybody knows, dude. Like, you know, I kind of miss that feeling, dude. Like, so I was like, so I started hitting the dabs. I was like, oh fuck, dude, everybody knows. And I was like, that's where it was at. Fuck yeah, dude. Like, so it gets you like that fucking like high school high again, dude. Like, and I kind of dig that. But like now it's just, you know, fucking anybody knows me knows the clouds follow me. So, you know, anything, it's just another fucking day in the life of, you know.
The clouds
But
follow the
yeah,
sky, man. The clouds
yeah,
follow the
hey,
sky.
ain't that Ain't that the damnedest? All right. Well, that's a good note to walk my dog on.
I think so, buddy. Have a good night. Thanks for sitting down with me and having this talk. I miss you, buddy.
Yeah, I miss you too, man. Fucking hit me up when you're around.
Yep, I'll see you later, bud.
All right.